Hello, myself Dr. Dineshan Patil. Welcome to my channel Digital Forensics for Beginners. In this video, which is titled as Network Packet Forensics, the digital forensic investigation of the various network packets such as HTTP, FTP, DNS, and the TLS is performed. So, by performing the digital forensic investigation of these particular various network packets, certain forensic important information are extracted and analyzed, and which is discussed in this particular video. So, we'll discuss why there is importance of performing the network packet forensic is there. The internet is being used widely throughout the world. So the computer with the internet facility can be used for various good purposes as well as for certain crime purposes as well. So there are mainly two kinds of cyber crimes that means criminals are there. One is the malicious insider and another is the external attacker. So the people with the criminal mindset, so this particular malicious insider and the external attacker, they make use of this the computer with the internet facility to cause the cybercrime. So the evidence of their activity can also be detected by performing the network packet forensic analysis. So how we can detect the particular forensic important information by performing the network packet analysis. So if you take the example about the malicious insider, so the malicious insider are those people who side with some external agency or external actor, and they send some sensitive information from from its organization. So what is the motive behind the malicious insider to do such thing? It may be for to take if he is having some grudge on the particular owner of the organization, or in order to take some revenge. So that may be, or another may be for some financial gain. So that may be the motive of the financial of some malicious insider. So what this particular malicious insider do, they will send some sensitive information from that particular organization. So how we can detect whether some malicious insider are sending some kind of a sensitive information to the remote destination? So if you grab the network packets, okay, so certainly by having the network packet which have been grabbed or have been captured, so we can, by performing the network packet forensic of those particular network packets, we can get the some destination IP address. So if the intended destination IP address from an organization is something unknown, and most of the time the burst data transfer is happening to that particular network IP address, so certainly one can assume that something suspicious is happening. So we can also get the information about the source IP address. So if particular source IP address is being used continuously in order to cause some data burst transfer to a particular unknown destination, so certainly we can consider that particular source IP address as something suspicious. So whoever is sitting or who is being access, whoever is having the access of that particular computer system on the source or the client side, so that particular person can be considered as a malicious insider. So that is also one of the example that how a particular malicious insider can be detected. Another example about the external attacker is that suppose the external attacker is trying to enter into your computer system or into the network, into your computer network. So how they can enter? So they will try to send some kind of malicious software through some network packets. Suppose the packets that are coming from some unwanted or unknown destination or unknown source are coming to the particular client. So we can get the information about the unknown IP address by performing the network packet analysis. Certainly that particular network packets are required to be captured, and from there we have to get the idea about the source IP address which is sending the network packets to this particular client. So if we are having some unknown IP address or the malicious IP address, because the list of the malicious IP address also is available on the a particular website, so you can also get access to the list of the malicious IP address. So a particular organization also can maintain their own list where they will be maintaining the details about the malicious IP address. Suppose the packets, suppose the which are the packets which are coming, they are coming from some malicious IP address. So if we get that particular details from the network packets, okay, so certainly we can check whether the particular external the our system is under attack by the external attacker. So that details we can get by performing the network packet forensic investigation. Similarly, if the particular some data transfer, burst data transfer is happening to some malicious IP address, so that way also we can detect whether our computer system or the computer network have been compromised by the particular attacker. So that way we can detect that's why there is the importance of performing the network packet forensics. So now we have already, most of us are aware of the TCP/IP protocol suite. So the diagram that detects that is depicted in the particular slide, it shows that the network packets how they have been prepared under the that means using the TCP/IP protocol suite. So certain application, let's say you are having the web browser or maybe any other application, they generate the some data. That data goes to the application layer. Application layer is having the various protocols such as HTTP, FTP, SMTP, SNMP. So this particular layer, they add its own header part, and the data then is sent to the particular that means the particular packet will be sent to the next layer, that is a transport layer. Transport layer is having the protocols such as TCP, UDP, and the transport layer is mainly used to establish the connection with the remote particular system. It may be some server or it may be a client, some kind of a computer system. So it also adds its own header part to this particular packet. Then the information is sent to the next layer, that is internet layer. And internet layer is having the various packets such as IP, ICMP, IGMP, and this layer also add its own information such as the IP address of the this particular client and the destination. So that is also added to the by the internet layer, okay, to the particular network packets. And finally the packet is delivered to the link layer. Link layer is responsible for it is having direct connectivity with the physical media. So the link layer is having the responsibility to place the particular network packet, okay, onto the physical media. Also apart from that, it also adds its own header part. Now this particular network packet will go through the internet, and it will be reaching to the destination by any means. That means through the internet it will reach by to the destination. Suppose the particular network packets have been captured by the external attacker, so from there is a chance that it may get also some valuable information from that. Similarly, if we capture these network packets, okay, on our system itself, so we can also detect certain things like certain attacker like malicious insider and the external attacker also we can detect by performing the analysis of the network packets. So in this particular video, as I said that I have performed the analysis of network, that means analysis of the HTTP protocol network packets, also FTP, then the DNS and the TLS network packets. So we'll discuss about how the what kind of forensic important information we can get from this particular various network packets. First of all, we'll begin with the HTTP for a particular network packet. So the web browser uses the HTTP protocol to communicate with the remote server. So it may be used for to downloading the required website or web pages from the or at the host system. So that is the mainly the HTTP is being used for that purpose. It is one of the insecure protocol. Why? Because whatever the data that is being transferred by the HTTP protocol, it is being sent in the plain text. So there is no encryption technique is being used in order to encrypt the information. Okay, so by the HTTP protocol. So there is a chance that if we are using the HTTP protocol to send some information at the remote location, so there is a chance that the attacker he may capture these particular network packets which are going onto the network. So because they are insecure, so certainly the attacker will be able to get the some payload, data payload information from that particular network packet. So a particular packet is going to have the two parts, like one is a data part, another is a header part. So in the header part, certain metadata about the particular client is maintained, like we can get so various details about the particular the computer system or about the client system from the network packet header part. So what kind of forensic important information we can get by performing the forensic investigation of the HTTP network packets, so that we'll discuss. First we'll get the client system details. So the example is shown here. This is the figure shows, okay, in the slide it shows that a Wireshark network packets, that means the particular network packets which have been captured by using the Wireshark tool. Okay, so that particular Wireshark tool provide the facility to capture the network packets, so which are going from that which are going on received by this particular client system. So what kind of client system details we can get, like the particular web browser, name of the web browser which is being used to create some application data, then the operating system. So what operating system is being installed on the particular client system which is being used, which is part of this particular communication. Okay, so that is being, that also we can get from the this particular HTTP network packet header part. Like here in this diagram you can see that the web browser and the operating system, so that details is shown here. So this is a graph of the HTTP network packet which have been captured by the Wireshark. Another details that we can get is about the ports which are open. So whenever the data is to be transferred over the network, the transport layer adds its own header. So that is what we have discussed, and in that header part, it adds some port number of the sender and the recipient. Okay, so certainly this particular port number is having some forensic importance to the forensic investigator, as it gives the information to the forensic investigator about the type of the service which is used by the particular server in communication. Okay, so also the port open, this kind of information is also important for the forensic investigator. Why? Because the forensic investigator will be able to get the idea about the which particular port is being used to communicate. Okay, so from the client side, also from the server side. So like here in the example, that is a table is shown in this particular slide. Okay, so it shows the port number for a particular type of service. Like HTTP is a type of service, and this particular HTTP service, the service, that means request, can be made for this service by using the port number 80. So the service, that means request for the service of the HTTP, can be made at the port number 80. Similarly, 443, that is 443 port number is used to get access to the HTTP secure service. Okay, so certainly the particular attacker, if we understand what kind of ports are open on this particular client system, so what he will do, he will try to enter into that particular computer system through that particular port. Okay, so that is why also this port open, which are, that means whatever the ports which are open on a particular computer system, so that details is of very much value to the forensic investigator, also to the attacker as well. Also we can get the details about the what kind of website that have been accessed by the particular computer system. Okay, so that means the client, okay, client computer system, what website have been accessed. So that details also we can get by performing the forensic investigation of the HTTP network packets. So like the client, it uses the get request method of the HTTP protocol. Okay, and on the server side it uses the post method of the HTTP protocol to provide a website to the client. So certainly this particular method, whenever they are trying to get just access to certain services, okay, they will add some kind of a the URL name. So from that one, from that URL we can get the details about the website which have been accessed by this particular client. Or also, if it is a post method, if it is of the HTTP protocol, so from that also we can get the details about the what kind of particular website which have been accessed by this particular computer system. Also the source and the destination IP address. So certainly the IP layer adds its own header. In that particular header part, it has the information about the IP address, that is the source IP address and the destination IP address of this of the particular the destination. So that details also we can get by performing the forensic investigation of the HTTP network packets. Also apart from this, we can also access the documents that have been attached to a particular email. Okay, also the document which are being downloaded, okay, on this particular computer system. So that details also we can get by using this particular HTTP network packet forensics. So the figure shows in the slide, it shows that which particular files have been attached to the particular compose section of the email service. So like here in this example it shows that the login.txt, if this particular file is attached to the mail server. Okay, so certainly one can get the details apart from the particular file which have been attached to the particular this particular what are the files that have been attached to a particular network packets. So that details also we can get by using this one. Okay, so if a particular file is attached, okay, so that file will also be available in the payload of the particular network packets. Apart from that, also we can get the name of the particular file which have been accessed, okay, which have been sent or maybe attached to the particular email part, okay, of the particular service, email services. Because after all the email whenever you are also sending, it is also going to be sent in the forms of network packet. So that also we can get about the what kind of documents which have been attached to the particular mail. Okay, so that also we can get. Okay, also the login ID, whenever a particular mail is being composed by the user. Okay, so also it gives the details about the login, okay, ID of the particular email email service user. Like in this example it shows that a particular user with the name like Dinesh underscore 27154, it was using the email service. Okay, so certainly from that one we can get the details about the who was using the particular internet facility at that time, okay, with the email service. Because suppose unwanted person is trying to access the email service at suppose other than the office working hours, so why someone is accessing the the service, that means internet facility, okay, or from this particular organization. Okay, so that details is also can be helpful in detecting the malicious insider. Because if a particular malicious insider is trying to send some email with the sensitive information, so if the sensitive file is detected by performing the analysis of the HTTP network packet, so we can also presume that the particular person with this login ID is a malicious insider. So that can be predicted. Okay, so that's why the analysis of the HTTP network packet is important. Then another protocol is a file transfer protocol. It is just like the HTTP network protocol packet, and it also does not encrypt the information. Every information is sent in the forms of a plain text. Okay, so everything is in the form of a plain text. So that's why again it is an insecure protocol, because if it is in the forms of plain text, so there is a possibility that the rival attacker may get access to your network packets, and then they will be able to retrieve the entire information from those network packets. So that's why the there is a need, that means to understand that what kind of information can be we can get from the file transfer protocol network packets. So like the information such as the authentication details, the website that have been accessed, and the document which have been downloaded. So those kind of details we can get by performing the FTP network packet forensics. So like this is an example that shows that how we can get authentication details, okay, about whenever you are using the FTP network packets. Like the example shows, the diagram shows that suppose a particular file name, it is in the zip folder. Okay, this particular file name, okay, is in the zip folder, and then we are having some kind of a signature for the zip file, like pk is a signature for that particular zip file. Okay, and a particular readme.txt is a particular file name in that zip folder. Okay, so certainly these kinds of details we can get, okay, by performing the FTP network packet forensic as well. Okay, apart from that, okay, suppose a login ID have been sent, that means in order to access certain service, okay, of some email service provider, and at that time we are using the FTP network packet. So the login details of those particular, or the authentication detail of those particular user, okay, also can be accessed by performing the, okay, FTP network packet forensics. Then also we can get the source and the destination IP address. So as we discussed earlier on, that the IP layer also append its own header part. So in that header part we can get the idea about the various source and the destination IP address. Also the documents which have been downloaded while using the network packet, FTP network packet, so that also we can get from by performing the FTP network packet forensics. Okay, so how we can get the document which have been downloaded? Okay, because a particular FTP network packet, that means protocol, is required to communicate with the remote server or the remote client. So what kind of information are going to be downloaded? Okay, so that details is maintained in the log files, okay, or the particular network packet itself. Okay, so the details about what kind of particular files have been downloaded from some servers, so that details we can get, okay, from the FTP network packet forensic itself. Okay, and what the documents have been downloaded from the remote server, so that is also possible to get from the FTP network packet forensics. There is another protocol like a domain name system protocol. This particular network DNS protocol and its packet, okay, it also provides some kind of a forensic important information. Okay, so what kind of information we can get, okay, by analyzing the DNS protocol. So mainly a DNS protocol consists of the messages such as query and the response. Okay, so by analyzing the query message, it is possible to identify the website that have been accessed using the HTTPS protocol. Okay, so that we can get, and the IP address of the service server which is hosting the website, along with the IP address of the disk as the source, also can be identified from the response message of the DNS. So DNS mainly works in the two parts, query and the response message part. So from the query itself we can get the idea about the website, okay, which have been accessed while using the HTTPS protocol. Also apart from that we can get the details about the IP address of the server, okay, which is hosting the website, along with the IP address of the source itself. Okay, so those details also we can get from the DNS system packet, sorry, DNS packet. And another thing that we can get is about the transport layer security network packet. So it is one of the secure protocol, and it provides the whatever the payload is there, so that particular payload is going to be encrypted form. Okay, suppose it is encrypted form, so no one is going to get any idea about the content in that particular payload. So apart from that, okay, so the TLS packet, the header part of the TLS packet, it gives the various information about the system, like the port which are being used and the source and the destination IP address. So those details also we can get from the transport layer security protocol, packet protocol. Okay, also because it is very difficult to get the application data. So the attacker, if you have, even if you would have caught the TLS network packet, so they won't be able, the attacker won't be able to get the what is the content in that particular message, because it is encrypted form. Okay, so that details we can get from the TLC network packet. So okay, thanks for watching this particular video. If you like this particular video, please click on the subscribe button to get the notification for the future videos on the digital forensics domain. Thank you.